this just calmly and slowly, straight down the barrel of the camera, talking about the two teams. Right check, yep. So the Bhairahawa Gladiators. Right check again, yeah, we got the Pokhara Rhinos. That's the Bhairahawa Gladiators. Bhairahawa. It's day 2 of the TVS Everest Premier League. Is that going to be going through both? Welcome to the How's That Show, the pregame show for the 2018 TVS Everest Premier League. You're watching live on AP1 HD. It's day 2, and it's time for the second game of a double-header here. We're going to have the Bhairahawa Gladiators taking on the Pokhara Rhinos, and we're going to talk a little bit about the teams now and a couple of star men. I'm looking forward to seeing 2 men today. For the Bhairahawa Gladiators, Ryan Ten-Deshate. He's a global superstar. This man has played in the IPL. He's played in English County Championship for years. He's actually got the highest ODI average of all time, higher even than that of Virat Kohli. He's a star. He's a star all around the world, and he's here in Nepal. We have a beautiful day's weather. And we're going to have a set fare for a sunny game and a sunny afternoon. They're going to take on the Pokhara Rhinos. We've got the 2 teams here in front of me. The Pokhara Rhinos are, of course, captained by Scotland's Kyle Coates. He's immersed himself in the Rhinos culture. He was up in Pokhara earlier in the week, a long 7-hour bus journey up there, up to the beautiful Pokhara. He flew back for the captain's opening ceremony yesterday, and he told me this morning he's dying to get going. But they've got 2 very powerful hitters with him. They've got Richard Levy from South Africa, and they've got Paul Coughlin from England. He's played a bit for the English Lions, formerly of Durham, now at Lancashire. An all-rounder, good with the bat and with the ball. He's a man to watch. Other names to watch, the great Shakti Gauchan. Who can forget what the memories he brought us for Nepal cricket in 2014 at the World 2020. Bowling those beautiful left arm and punching the air in delight as he got Nepal over the line for their historic win at the World 2020. Going back to the Gladiators, let's have a look at who else to watch in their squad. We've got their captain, Sharad Vasakar, and of course, Pradeep Barry. He'll take the gloves. He's an impressive operator, that man. But Sharad Vasakar and Ryan Ten-Deshate, they'd be the 2 men to watch for me. What happened this morning? Well, we had a cracking game. We had a lot of poor Patriots. They got their first win of the tournament. They beat... They won by 11 runs in a thrilling game over the Chitwan Tigers. Chitwan Tigers will be disappointed, but they've got 4 more opportunities. Just to explain a little bit more about the tournament, we have 6 teams. They're going to play 19 matches, and those 19 matches are going to take place over 15 days. We'll only have 1 champion, though. How will we get to that champion? Well, the top 4 in the table, they're going to be advancing to the playoffs after those 5 group games that each team will play. First, we'll play second, and they've got a chance to go straight to the grand final. And after they do that, you'll have third against fourth. When third play fourth, they'll play the losers of first v second. And what will happen then, we'll have 2 tides straight to the grand final. So that's how it's going to work. It's the TVS Everest Premier League. I think it's time to go take a look at the toss, which happened about 10 minutes ago.
Welcome back to match number 3 of the TVS Everest Premier League. Two teams playing their first game of the season. We'll see how this pans out. Kyle Kutzer from Scotland leading the Pokhara Rhinos. Sharat Vesavkar, runners-up, the Bhairahawa Gladiators, and the match referee Dipendra Chowdhury. Welcome back to match number 3 of the TVS Everest Premier League. Two teams playing their first game of the season. We'll see how this pans out. Kyle Kutzer from Scotland leading the Pokhara Rhinos. Sharat Vesavkar, runners-up, the Bhairahawa Gladiators, and the match referee Dipendra Chowdhury here. We're ready for the toss, and who's going to spin the coin? It's going to be Sharat to spin the coin, Kyle to call. And heads it is. Kyle, what have you decided to do?
Yeah, we've decided to have a decent track first game, and we don't think it'll be too dissimilar second game, so we feel there's some runs in here too.
Your first time here in Nepal, what do you have to say?
Yeah, it's been a great experience so far. The guys are clearly very passionate about the game. The crowd has come in, and they've been, the atmosphere has been amazing. It's something that we don't get back home in Scotland, but it's a pleasure to share it with everyone in Nepal here today.
Is there anything that you would take with the first 2 games that you've seen so far?
Well, it turns out the start of each innings seems to understanding what a decent score is and how you're going to get there. So we've had a few chats amongst ourselves, and we understand that it can get tricky at phases on slightly slower pitches. But although today the wickets seem pretty good, so
all the best to you and your team, Kyle.
Thank you.
Sharat, your first game, new season, very unfortunate ending. The last time you all played in the finals, you will be looking to go the distance this time around.
Absolutely. First of all, we have to win the first game. We'll take it game by game, but yes, something to improve. We're looking for a good start.
And you were here very early on today. You had a good look at the pitch and how the two teams played out as well. What would you take from the first game that you saw today?
In the TU normally the second half of the day goes out very well to bat. So hopefully this will be a good wicket, and we'll try to restrict them as low as possible.
All the best to you and your team. All right, that's the news from the centre. The Pokhara Rhinos have won the toss and have decided to bat first.
Coulter won the toss. He decided to bat first. Time to go up to the commentary team.
Coverage. We're back here for game number 3 of the TVS Everest Premier League, and this is the 3rd edition of the tournament. And what a fantastic start we have had so far. Match number 2 today is the Bhairahawa Gladiators, the runners-up of the last season, taking on the Pokhara Rhinos. And joining me in the commentary box, former Nepali cricketer, he's captained the side, knows a lot about cricket in Nepal. Welcome, Paresh Lohani.
Thank you very much, Navneet.
Tell us a little bit about these two teams. Before I come to you, I'll just tell you, we have some big names playing in this game. And we promised a lot of international stars in this season of the Everest Premier League, and they're living up to it. Let's talk about the Pokhara Rhinos, for example. The captain himself, Kyle Coetzer, all the way here from Scotland. Paul Coughlin from England, and Richard Levy. He is dynamite in this format of the game from South Africa. And on the other side, for the Bhairahawa Gladiators, Ravi Indra Singh and Puneet Mehra from India, and Ryan Tendiskata. Well, a lot of eyes are going to be on him. He can get going, can Ryan Tendiskata. He's played a lot of T20 leagues all around the world, and everyone here in Nepal would be waiting to watch him in action. Now, the Bhairahawa Gladiators, they lost in the final delivery of the last season against the Biratnagar Warriors. So they're one of the top teams in this tournament. And with the Pokhara Rhinos having some phenomenal foreign talent and some really good Nepali cricketers in there, this promises to be a very exciting encounter.
Yes, it sure does. Bhairahawa Gladiators, some domestic players. We can see Sarath Beswakar, a very good batsman, and the captain as well, Arif Sheikh, a very good talent, Rohit Paudel, Krishna Karke, a decent medium pacer, Bhuvan Karke, left arm spinner, and Pradeep Aire, he's one of the dynamites. He's Nepal's Virendra Sehwag. And we can talk about Harishankar Shah. Shots reminds me of Sangakkara. He's an opening batsman as well. Avinash Bohra is there. And the 3 foreign players are Ravinder Singh, Puneet Mehra, and Ryan Tendiskata.
And as you see, the 2 lineups are here now. The 3 foreign signings right at the bottom end of your screen. Ravinder Singh, Ryan Tendiskata, and Puneet Mehra for the Gladiators, and the Rhinos have the captain Coetzer, Coughlin, and Richard Levy. We heard from Kyle at the toss. He's happy with the way the pitch is playing, and they don't mind having a bat first here. And most of the teams have decided to go in batting first, so interesting tactics. Now, we've seen a lot of spin all through the first 2 games. In fact, more than what we had imagined. And the Gladiators, they're starting off with spin. Would for the spinner in these conditions, Paresh?
Yes, definitely, because Levy is on strike, so why not just don't give too much of pace, just store down the pace, let him attack the ball. Let's see what happens. Even if he gets hit for 10-15 runs, then you can bring out fast balls from the other end.
And it's going to be Bhuvan Karke to open the bowling for the Gladiators. Big Richard Levy. Well, no ground is big enough. Levy on strike. And the non-striker, is the captain himself. So it's going to be Kyle and Richard Levy, 2 big stars right at the top of the order for the Pokhara Rhinos.
Oh, starts with a wide. It's going down to the boundary, and that's 4 runs, 4 wides. A very ordinary start by Bhuvan Karki. He thought the ball might turn. That's why he pitched it on leg stump. But it went through the arm and went to the boundary. That's 4 wides. Poor start by Bhairahawa Gladiators.
Yeah, this isn't the start that they were looking for. The Gladiators down the leg side, and the keeper messes up as well. So 5 extras to start with. Total. Well, this is an excellent start for the Rhinos. Richard Levy. A short ball and enough of room for him to cut in the offside. Finds the gap. There you go. Nice and easy for Richard Levy to get off the mark.
And you can see the elegance of the shot. How easy he played that shot.
9 runs in just 1 delivery bowled. Bhuvan Karki, the bowler for the Gladiators. Like I mentioned, they are the runners-up. Just missing the outside off. He was looking for the late cut, Richard Levy. He says, to his credit, over 5,000 runs in the farm. And you can see he doesn't rely too much on his foot movement. He's stand and deliver sort of a batsman there is Richard Levy.
I think that is why I'll come back to that.
Six, number 1. What a fantastic. It was pitched fuller, and he absolutely swatted that over mid-wicket. 6 runs, Richard Levy. And they're getting a very early move on here. 15 on the board already.
Sharad Vishwakar's decision of bowling spin in the first over is about to be proved wrong.
It's backfired. Yes, it has. But it's been working wonders for the other captains. Unfortunately, Bhuvan Karki hasn't started off very well here. And it's going to be very interesting to see Richard Levy's approach and Kyle's as well, because the order of the day has been you take your time, get used to conditions, and then go big. But Richard Levy has other intentions.
Yes, exactly. Last ball of this over.
That's a good comeback from Karki. A lot quicker through the air and giving no time for the batsman to do much about it, and just manages the single end of the first over. And the Rhinos 16 for no loss. Right, we're back. 16 for no loss. The Rhinos in just the first over. And now it's going to be Richard Levy again on strike. He smoked 1 big 6 over mid-wicket in the first over. And still deciding who's going to be bowling the second over. Is it? Yes, the captain. His debut in the Everest Premier League to bowl from the pavilion end and to compliment Bhuvan Karki. Was it intentional that he's going with medium pace, or after the over of spin he's probably go with a medium pace? And
so the decision backfired. Pokhara gave away 16 runs in his first over with 5 wides as well.
Tell us a little bit about Avinash, Paresh.
Avinash Bora, he's a decent bowler. I haven't seen him much, but he's a young talent.
This is right in the hitting zone for the big South African, and Richard Levy is getting a move on here. One bounce and over the long off boundary. He's very quickly moved on of just 7 deliveries. For warm-up delivery, you'd have to say, from Avinash. And Richard Levy is not.
Yeah, look at the replay. That's a beautiful shot. People want to see that. Public wants to see this kind of batting.
He's getting a good follow-through as well, and that went very quickly to the point fielder. Richard Levy's intentions are quite clear. He wants in this crowd, very good crowd, and despite it being a working day here in Nepal, we have a very decent crowd in. The first game going. Once again, straight into the park. Richard Levy is already on fire. A couple of days back, and he's into the thick of things.
Yeah, it went over our head. It went over our building. The comet probably 90 meters or something like that.
To the hitting zone, and the nice follow through of the bat. He's smiling. Well, he can afford to smile. And the beauty of it all, 26 on the.
Richard Levy, he doesn't look like that he moves his feet that much, but just hand-eye coordination is enough to hit the ball out of the park.
Sharat Vesavkar very quickly gets to his bowler to say a few words. They have to change and alter their line and length when they're bowling to the big South African. Because he's making this look very simple. Just tucks it on to the ground, to long off for a single, and he's moved on to 22 of just 10 deliveries. Kyle's also played a lot of T20 cricket. He's also the captain of the Scotland side. Over 2,000 runs in the format, a high score of 71. And speaking to some of them just before the game, they're very excited to be here in Nepal for the very first time. And just an amazing experience for the international cricketers, but for the localites as well.
Yes, I mean, the Scottish players, Irish players, even South Africans, English, they all are here, Indians. And the atmosphere is also good.
And I think the crowd is coming in at the right point of time. Richard Levy, opportunity for the crowd to get that 50,000 rupees. Is that going to reach the boundary line? Mid-on stops that. Good field and just cuts it down to 2 runs.
Yeah, it was nicely clipped off his pads. Kyle Kotze. It'll be very interesting to see if these two stay there till the end of the power play. We'll see some big hitting.
And just 30 minutes before, when we were right in the center for the toss, the sun was out. It was cast already. Straight through. Cuts a certain boundary there. The mid-off fielder. Good fielding there. Good. Rhinos very quickly have moved on to 29 for the loss of no wicket. back. And there's a very quick change made by the captain from the far end. It's going to be Krishna Karki after a dreadful first over from Bhuban Karki. So it's if they continue to go at this rate, we're in for some entertainment over the next hour or so. Richard Levy, he's entertained crowds all around the world, and here he is in Nepal. First ball of a brand new over, despite a valiant effort at the bar. Richard Levy gets 4 more. Not a good start, you'd have to say. There was room on offer, and Richard Levy picked that very early on and puts it over covers for a comfortable boundary.
Yeah, there was not much of that over the fielder's head, over the bar, over the
very little foot from Levy, but it's helping him. And that's not something that we've seen a lot of in the little bit that he's played so far. Kyle Kutzer's very happy, silent partner. He's just played the 2 deliveries so far. And Richard Levy's held most of the strike, 26 already.
It looks like his first initial movement is to attack the ball, and if the ball is a bit shorter, if it's a good length ball, then he stops it.
Bang! 6 more, and this is huge. Oh, it's someone in the crowd has hand, and he is going absolutely bonkers. Looks like he might just be the first spectator to grab 50,000 rupees, and he doesn't. Boy, we have a game here. We want the ball back in the crowd. right-hander. This is not going to be as easy as the medium pacers, who didn't really have enough pace. So it's Kyle back on strike now. 14 mode. We're just into the fourth over. $50 up for the Pokhara Rhinos in him. Half-century partnership. And Kyle has scored Richard Levy has scored 40. Kyle Kutzer just 4 of 4. Very quick shake hand in the center, but this is handy. As long as Rich Levy's in the crease, keep the balls handy, because we're going to need some. Still waiting for the new ball to come. Here's a look at the replay. Short ball outside off. That's way too slow for Utley. Tonks it over past the bowler. 6 runs. They're going at 15 or 56 on the board. He's not sparing anyone. It was Bhuvan Karki. Then Bora tried his hand. And now Puneet Mehra. And they're all going the distance. Thanks to the big South African who's already on.
And if he gets a new ball again, the ball is going to go furthermore for far.
And it's time for a little bit of a team meeting for Sharad and his team to get together and figure in the plan that they had before they stepped on to the field. And it's a good way, a very quick way to make 50,000 rupees. Paresh, be honest. You want to be here, you want to be in the crowd?
To be honest, I'm happy here.
Cold here in what is otherwise a very overcast, gloomy afternoon here in Kathmandu. Richard Levy is entertaining the good crowd that we have here. That's a good, very solid start here from Ryan Tendiskata. Good line, good length, and well respected by the captain, Kyle. Just this setting, this beautiful backdrop, this ground, and with the weather conditions, well, really can't ask for better cricket conditions in December. Short and wide outside off. Kyle puts that away. And the first boundary for Kyle Kutsa. More to the total now. They're into the 60s. We're just into the 5th over.
Anything short, anything given room is disappearing into the boundary. What a good shot by Kyle Kutsa. Over the head, over the infield.
Yes, the batsmen, they've been middling everything that came their way. But to be honest, the bowling has been quite ordinary as well. They've been short on most occasions and not really express pace. So the fact that the batsman has that extra bit of time, it's making this a lot easier for them.
Yeah, they are capitalizing on that. They are giving, the bowlers are giving room, bowling short balls, bowling over pitches.
And even this is not helping as well. Full toss down the leg side, wide. Yes, wide signal. 2 more to the total. They've already conceded a whole bunch of extras. So really the runners-up of the last edition, the Bhairahawa Gladiators, they very quickly need to pull up their socks. Otherwise, the Rhinos are slowly but steadily running away with this game very early on. And the crowd in the long on region, they can't wait for the ball to come their way. Much better change in pace.
Levy looked pretty casual in that delivery.
And you notice that when it's not in the hitting arc, it automatically makes it a lot more difficult for Levy to swing and go with the flow. And that's exactly what they need to be doing. And to your point earlier, they need to be varying it a lot more. Outside off this time, over the inner circle. In the boundary line there. So what that means is 4 more to the total and half century for the South African. What an entertaining start we've had to the match number 2 of day 2 of the TVS Everest Premier League. 5 overs completed, 68 for no loss. Beginning, Richard Levy. You bowl it full, he takes it on. Short pitch deliveries, they go the distance as well. He didn't spare any of the bowlers. And as a result, Pokhara Rhinos have put on 68 in the first 5 overs. 53 in just 23 deliveries. And we're back live here for the 6th over. I'm going to hand it over to Andrew Leonard and Rajan Shah.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nav. And possibly the most rating 5 over of the tournament so far, Rajan. What do you think?
It's been a wonderful hitting for Richard Levy.
Complimented strongly by Kyle as well. We spoke before the tournament, Rajan, about how the most devastating opening partnership, and they're showing it already here.
Yeah, coming to the other from the first ball. This has Richard Levy saying, this and playing this Nepal ball.
And the pace of this pitch immediately. Look, a much better batting wicket today than yesterday, and we've seen that. We had 270 runs in the first game. Gets fortune, favours the break. It was Arif Sheikh out there. It's going to be the end of the sixth. It's 77 for 1. Sensational hitting here. The Kurdapur International Cricket Ground from Richard Levy, complemented by his Pokhara Rhinos captain Coater. It's Andrew Leonard bringing you live on AP1 HD and all around the world on NepalFlix, of course. Delighted to have Rajan next to me here, Momo Cricket. This is why you want the international players here.
Absolutely, Andrew. I mean, Daskate bowling, Ryan Daskate bowling to Kylie Kodzer in Nepal and Kathmandu. Who would have thought last year that the year of TVS
and that's run away for about 4 to Kyle Coates. It's going to end the 7th over. The Pokhara Rhinos now 83 for none.
Expensive this season. He was quite good last year. That's why he got another contract with Gladiator France from Levi. I mean, he's nearing on the record total of 81 runs scored by Babar Hayat last season.
Yeah, we are looking to go past. We knew this season 3 of the Everest Premier League was going to break records. 2 here at the tournament. We could be getting not records just broken, but possibly smashed if Richard Levy keeps going. Cramped him up. Clever bowling from Mera, not letting Levy free his arms. Pressure that Levy's applying to the bowlers.
I mean, more of same. You don't want to do anything extra. I mean, Koitzer, you might want to see him. He's missing few of them, but then this is still 9th over. We're only starting to 9th over, and they want to continue. You know, anything is possible at the moment.
Yeah, you're certainly right. Anything is possible. If they can get to 100 within 8 overs, the run rate at 12.5, where could this innings go? This league ever seen a total in excess of 200? I'd love to see that today. That's what the crowds come in for. They want to see sixes hit. They're shining on the biggest stage in Nepal cricket. Is this the kind of impact you were expecting from these overseas stars? Did you think they would come in and maybe dominate a game or two?
I think you are spot on. I think that we as a fans would like to see with the Nepali players and the overseas player coming here and playing and scoring at such rates. I think everything is like I said before. Damla is sitting in the dugout. He is watching them play, and he's maybe.
Skipper Visakar is going to go back to Cork. His first over was an expensive one, and Levy with another inside edge. He's riding his luck really now, to be honest, but that one is all for. It just seems that everything is going Richard Levy's way here. There's just nothing going right for the Gladiators. It's been all Rhinos so far. Their captain spoke of the potential in this team. And could be a chance in the deep. There's a man settles under in a cow corner. He's gone. He's taken. He doesn't get to the record total for an full short of Bhairahawa's 81. Rajan, talk us through this. It looks like Levy just kind of ran out of steam. He was riding his luck the last few inside edges.
Absolutely. Like he was doing it, he was trying to smack it once again for another 6, but then mistimed it, and it was an easy catch for the fielder there. Ran.
Yeah, crucial to Tendashkari out underneath that catch. The Rhinos now 104 for 1. Just seeing some of the highlights of Richard Levy's explosive innings of 17. That innings of 79, Rajan came up just.
Yeah, definitely. He has shown the way how to bat in this pitch. I think lose something on your arc. Why don't you go for your shots and you can get results like Levi did today. And left for Pokhara Rhinos. Hamla, like we can see, is very consistent performance in domestic circuit of Nepal. And then the Saurav Khanal and Bimal Bhandaru are still to come to bat. They are also a good hitter of the ball. And maybe we can see some good total today. And like you said, maybe.
Yeah, 200 certainly on, and that's what Kyle Coulter's. Nice start from Damala, played off the back foot, out towards the offside, the larger side of the ground.
Koitzer has been just rotating. He was planning this innings. It was so 2 runs for Damla to start his innings, open his account.
Away. And Karki, the relief on his face after he took that wicket of Levy. He certainly looks strong on the offside, Damla. This time it's just going to be one. Tell us a little bit about Damla as a batsman.
Yeah, like you said, he's strong in offside for sure, and he has been doing pretty well in domestic circuit in all the franchise leagues or the domestic tournaments, be it one day or T20. He has done well in recent times. He's someone who is knocking on the national team's door from quite some time. He has been on the reserve squad, and
people the chance to shine, get those Nepal national colours on. Coates, just going to be one. That's going to end the 9th over. The Pokhara Rhinos now 109 for 1.
really nice, and see that blasting 7-8 sixes in one single match. It was wonderful, and the crowd is excited. It was even more, but today it's really nice, full cricketing time.
And if the Everest Premier League, you know, it uplifts so many of these young talents and so many new players. It can be moved forward.
Wonderful. The organizers have created for the young girls in Nepal and taking this cricket to the national platform. This is a super platform, I would say.
Not the least. Can you tell me which is your favorite team, or who are you really supporting?
This blaster, and I would now vote for Pokhara Rhinos.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was Mr. Ravindra Seni from Pernod Ricard, and over to the comment box.
Yeah, thanks. Look, that's the impression on Krishna throughout his spell. And pressure on all the bowlers really. Run rate being pretty consistent. Are under huge pressure. The scary thing is that hasn't had much strong 2018 season, so in the ICC Cricket World Cup, robbed by rain really, and a few things that didn't go their way. The West Indies on Duckworth Lewis in Zimbabwe, but they more than made up for it with a famous victory against their old rivals England, beating England first, racking up a massive 370 thanks to Callum. It was a moment that lived long, and Scott Kyle Coates are huge amount to be proud of.
लागि उहाँ सुरुमै पर्ने थियो जुन अन स्लट ब्याटिङ गर्दै
र परेश यो इनिङमा हाम्रो चियर लिडर्सहरूलाई फुर्सद पाएका छैनन् प्रत्येक रहेको छ एकछिन चियर लिडिङको आफ्नो पोजिसन यही एउटा यो नयाँ संस्करणको टिभीएस एभरेस्ट लिग 2000 अंग्रेजीमा भर्खरै मात्र प्रस्तुत गरे 79 रन टेलिभिजनमा लाइभ हेर्दा हामी किन छैन भन्नुपर्छ उनको इनिङले
यो छक्काहरू रिप्लेहरू फेरि धमलाको डाउन द ट्र्याक स्ट्रेट खेलिएका थिए साइज गयो बल
जस्तो अवस्था निरन्तरता दिनाले जुन हिसाबले अगाडि बढेर कायल कोर्जर आज दुवै खेलेका छन्
कायल कोर्जर राम्रो ब्याटिङ गरिरहेका छन् जब रिचर्ड लेभ अहिले बल हान्ने बल छ नभए स्ट्राइक रोट स्ट्राइक दिइरहेका छन्
बल सायद यो तेस्रो बल बल हराइसके र अब सुनिल दमला पनि त्यही कार्यमा लागि
क्याप्टन जुन छ उहाँको कायल कोर्जरको एक्सपिरियन्स बल पाइएको छ त्यसैले
पोखरा राइनोसको इनिङ्सको हेर्दैछौँ हामी रिचर्ड लेवी चारैतिर मैदानको 360 डिग्रीमा उनले आज बाउन्ड्री हिर्काएको यो हाइलाइट्स हेर्न रमाइलो हुनेछ अवश्य पनि
अलि लकी पनि भएका थिए रिचर्ड लेवी तर लास्टमा आउट हुन पुगे डिप मिड विकेटमा क्याच भएर त्यसपछि आएका सुनिल धमलाले पनि राम्रो ब्याटिङ गर्दैछन् पोजिटिभ ब्याटिङ गर्दैछन् हेरौँ उहाँको शट्सहरू यो रिप्लेमा डाउन द ट्र्याक आएर छक्काको लागि प्रहार गर्दैछन्
र यो कायल कोर्जर पनि एक्सनमा यो हाइलाइट्स थियो पोखरा राइनोसको अहिलेसम्मको इनिङ्सको। स्क्रिनमा देखिरहनु भएको छ सुनिल धमला रिचर्ड लेबीको पदमार्ग पछि आइरहेका छन् र ठुल्ठुला हिटहरू सुरुवातदेखि नै लगाउन सकि पनि रहेका छन्। ब्याटमा राम्रो कनेक्ट गर्न सकिरहेका छन्, उनलाई राम्रो साथ दिइरहेका छन् पोखरा राइनोसका कप्तान कायल कोर्चर।
राम्रो बल थियो यो, तर सुनिल धमला सेट रन दिन सफल लङ अन दिशामा। अब कायल कोर्चर आएका छन् स्ट्राइकमा। 15th ओभर हो यो। अब अलिकति शोल्डर खोल्ने विचारमा छन् जस्तो छन् कायल कोर्चर। फेरि 1 रन लङ अन दिशामा।
अविनाश बोहराले केही राहतको महसुस गरेको हुनुपर्छ, होइन भने रिचर्ड लेबीको पारामा त अविनाश बोहरा जुन हाल गरेका थिए सायद अहिले केही राहत महसुस गरेको छ। खतरनाक तरिकामा सुनिल धमला पनि अघि बढिरहेका छन्।
धेरै नै राम्रो ब्याटिङ यो सुनिल धमलाद्वारा। फ्लिक गरिदिए डिप मिड विकेट दिशामा 1 रनको लागि। रन संख्या बढ्दै 171 पुगिसकेको छ।
निरन्तर ब्लक होलमा राख्ने प्रयासमा फुल टस टालिरहेका छन् बोहरा। यो अर्को निकै राम्रो बल। म कुरा गरिरहेको थिएँ निरन्तर ब्लक होलमा राख्ने प्रयासमा कुनै रुम दिन चाहँदैनन् बोहरा आफ्नो यो स्पेलमा।
4 बल गरिसकेका छन्, 4वटा बल ब्लक होलमा अटेम्प्ट गरेका थिए। यो बल, यो पर्टिकुलरली यो 4th बल चाहिँ धेरै नै राम्रो बल थियो। रन बन्न सकेन। यो रेयर डट बल भन्छ यसलाई, जबकि यस्तो प्रहार गरिरहेका थिए पोखरा राइनोसको ब्याट्सम्यानहरूले, स्पेसली रिचर्ड लेबीले। अर्को राम्रो बल यो, धेरै नै राम्रो ओभर यो।
फुलर लेन्थ डेलिभरी थियो, विथ द लेन्थ खेल्न चाहन्थे तर बलसम्म ब्याट पुर्याउन सकेनन्। पन्ध्रौं ओभरको अन्तिम बल अविनाश बोहरा लिएर आउँदैछन् कायल कोर्चरको लागि।
राम्ररी ड्राइभ गरिदिए लङ अफ दिशामा। मिसफिल्ड भएको छ। 2 रन लिन सफल ब्याट्सम्यानहरू। 15 ओभरको समाप्तिमा 173 रन 1 विकेटको नोक्सानीमा पोखरा राइनोस।
सोह्रौं ओभरको सुरुवात र यो लाइभ जुन देखिरहनु भएको छ यिनै क्यामेराम्यानको मद्दतमा दिन रात अहोरात्र खटेर AP1 SD मार्फत तपाईलाई APL को यो तेस्रो संस्करणको लाइभ तपाईहरु माझ पस्किरहेको छ र AP1 SD लाई धन्यवाद दिनुपर्छ। हामीले नेपालमा पनि यतिको स्तरीय क्रिकेट ब्रोडकास्ट लाइभ हामी पुर्याइरहेका छौं। धन्यवाद AP1 SD लाई। र 16औं ओभरमा पोखरा राइनोस 100 विशाल योगफल अहिलेसम्म बनाइसकेको छ। यो योगफललाई मजाले हेर्ने भने यसमा योगदान रिचर्ड लेबीको 37 बलमा 79 रन विस्फोटक पारी खेलेका थिए र उनीसँग ओपनिङ आएका 45 रन बनाइसकेका छन्। कोर्चरले 34 बलमा 19 बलमा 37 रन विस्फोटक पारी नै भन्नुपर्छ। एक्सन र यो उठाइदिएका छन् नो म्यान्स ल्यान्डमा बल 1 रनमा चित्त बुझाउनेछन्।
दुईटै ब्याट्सम्यानहरू अब आफ्नो शोल्डर खोल्दैछन्। 9 विकेट हातमा छ। पुनित मेहरा आएका छन् बलिङ लिएर।
ठुलो शट खेल्न चाहन्थे। मिसफिल्ड यहाँ 2 रनको लागि कल गरेका थिए तर 2 रन हुँदैन। अब इनिङ्सको अन्तिम अवस्थामा छन्। विकेट धेरै छ हातमा, खुलेर खेल्न चाहन्छन् कायल। उनको एक्सनले त्यो देखाउँछ। सुनिल धमला अर्कोपट्टि विस्फोटक रूपमा अघि बढिरहेका छन्।
वाइड बलको इशारा, यो लाइनमा भट्किए पुनित मेहरा।
अब इनिङ्सको यो अन्तिम ओभरमा यस्तो अनुशासनहीन बलको अपेक्षा गरिँदैन यति ठुलो टिमबाट र यति ठुलो खेलाडीबाट। पुनित मेहरा हाउस होल्ड नेम भइसकेका छन् नेपाली क्रिकेटमा।
यो ओभर भने पुनित मेहराले अलि बिस्तारै अलि स्लो फालिरहेका छन्। त्यसले गर्दा ब्याट्सम्यानहरूलाई शट्स खेल्न अलिकति गाह्रो भएको जस्तो देखिन्छ।
सर्ट पिच बल अगाडि बढेर बलसम्म पुग्न चाहन्थे तर विकेट गुमाएका छन्। सुनिल धमलाले खेलेर आफ्नो विकेट गुमाएका छन्। बलको लाइनसम्म पुग्न सकेनन्।
राम्रो क्याच पक्रिए डीप एक्स्ट्रा कभरको फिल्डरले। इन्टेन्ट ठिक थियो सुनिल धमलाको तर अनफर्चुनेटली सिधै फिल्डरको हातमा बल गयो।
र दोस्रो विकेट गुमाएको देख्न सक्नुहुन्छ तपाईँले। पुनित मेहराको त्यति राम्रो बल थिएन, बलसम्म पुग्न चाहन्थे तर राम्रो कनेक्ट गर्न सकेनन्। विकेट गुमाएका छन्। पनि धेरै विकेट छ। पोखरा राइनोसँग विनोद भण्डारी सुनिल धमलालाई स्थानान्तरण गर्नको लागि आएका छन्।
आएका छन् आरका ठुला नाम नेपाली क्रिकेटका ठुल्ठुला प्रहार गर्ने ब्याट्सम्यान हुन् उनी विनोद भण्डारी। राम्रो प्लेटफर्म छ अहिले खेल्नलाई, ठुल्ठुला शट्स खेल्नलाई राम्रो प्लेटफर्म। 176 for 2, 8 विकेट अझै हातमा छ। यो राम्रो प्लेटफर्म हो विनोद भण्डारीको लागि स्कोरलाई 200 कटाउनलाई।
पुनित मेहरा फुलर थियो, ड्राइभ गरिदिए 1 रनको लागि र पहिलो बल पेश गर्नको लागि विनोद भण्डारी स्ट्राइकमा। नेपाली क्रिकेटमा ठुलो नाम विनोद भण्डारी, हार्ड हिटरको रूपमा चिनिन्छन् विनोद भण्डारी। पोखरा राइनोसको लागि पनि निकै महत्त्वपूर्ण खेलाडीको रूपमा रहेका छन् विनोद। कायल 32 बलमा 47 रन बनाएर खेलिरहेका छन्। अर्धशतकको धेरै नजिकै छन्।
पहिलो डिफेन्सिभ शट यो विनोद भण्डारीद्वारा। ओभरको समाप्ति 16 ओभर सिद्धिएको छ। 177 रन 2 विकेटको नोक्सानीमा पोखरा राइनोस।
र यसपछि र 16 ओभर सकिसकेको छ। 17औं ओभरको खेल सुरुवात हुँदैछ र अब यहाँबाट 4 ओभरसम्म खेललाई अघि बढाउनको लागि अंग्रेजी विश्लेषणको लागि एन्ड्रयू र नवनीत हुनुहुन्छ।
And after a long partnership, one went down and another excellent catch at long off. And the Bhairahawa Gladiators get 2 in quick succession. It was a full toss outside off and he did the right thing, looking for the 6 runs outside off stump. But he found the and that's wicket number 3.
It was full, looking for the block hole. Coates looked to smash it down straight, but it's gone straight to the man at long off. It's the 3rd wicket to fall. The Pokhara 177 for 3.
And the new batsman in.
And one overseas player replaces another as we lose the Scottish captain. In comes the Lancashire all-rounder Paul Coughlin, formidable hitter of the ball, out and out all-rounder, wonderful athlete. And although the run rate is flying, some late inroads here for the Bhairahawa Gladiators. Run through for two there. Correction, of course, Paul Coughlin with Nottinghamshire, not with Lancashire. Durham. And what are we looking at here now? We're surely going to see the first total over 200, are we?
Well, I'd be surprised if they don't get it from the situation that they're in right now. And they've gone about their innings in a very nice manner. Richard Levy early on, and then Kyle Kutza.
Yeah, Bhaira's impressed me with his kind of slingy action, a little bit almost Malinga reminiscent. Coming in, a bit more round arm, I just find it a little bit harder to get away for the batsman.
But it wasn't the same in his first over. It was going all hammer and tongs.
Here's Paul Coughlin's career record, 33 T20 matches, an average of 28, very good strike rate up near 140. And he is a man who could be destined for high in the future. He's already played for the England Lions. He's happy just to get bat on ball, get it down the ground. They will push for two, but no time for two there.
Much better consistency from Avinash Bora this time around. He's giving it full and straight, so there's not much that the batsman can do except play it down the ground. And a good comeback, you'd have to say, from the Gladiators in the last couple of overs.
Yeah, it's not quite as round arm as Malinga, but there's certainly a slingy effect to the action. He's looking for that block hole, and with that slingy action, when he finds the block hole, it's hard to play.
It is, and that's exactly what's happening. Another dot ball on what has been an absolute run fest in the first 14 overs. The Gladiators will be happy to have pulled things back in the last 2-3 overs.
Into that block hole again, wonderful bowling. Going to try and run a quick single. They'll get there. Coughlin calls back for the overthrow. We've seen a lot of overthrows in 2 days of this tournament, and that's going to be 2 more to the total. It's the end of the 17th over. The Pokhara Rhinos 183 for 3. Join us for the last 3 overs. You're watching live on AP1 HD. It's going to be another change of bowling. Jared Vasakar, he says, I need to go to my experience. I'm going to go to Ryan Tendashade.
Ryan bowled just the 1 over early on when Richard Levy was batting. And then I think he came back for a second spell, did he? Yes. Does look like Ryan's going to bowl the 18th and the 20th.
Yeah, he could be used at the death here by his captain. You see Tendo on the back. It's his nickname. It's how he's known. A man who probably rivaling any other cricketer around the world for playing in the most franchise leagues. I think up around a dozen global franchises he played for now. And he finds the block hole right away. So effective with bat and ball.
Yeah. And we can't wait to watch him with the bat in hand. Ryan Tendashade, he can easily match Richard Levy, and they definitely need someone if they want to get hold of this big total. This is a massive total that the Rhinos have already put up. But you know what? Credit where it's due, and credit to the Gladiators. They've pulled things back in the last 3 overs very well indeed, and they would love to end on a high. So if things go as per their plans, for all you know, 200 might be a little difficult for the Rhinos to get.
Yeah, well, momentum is a huge thing in 2020 cricket. It's a big thing in all cricket, whether we're playing the Test, 50 over the T20 version, but particularly in 2020 cricket. And if the Gladiators can just restrict the end of this innings, maybe keep them to around that 200, it could still be game on. And I think we've already learnt that we can't predict a lot of what's going to happen. It's certainly a good batting deck today. The sun has come out nicely now from behind the overcast clouds earlier. So if you get in, as we saw Levy do earlier, Coates, you can really capitalise. Driven. It's out to the man at long off. Time for two. A little bit of a fumble. Good throw in, but always time for two there.
Yeah, it wasn't the best of throws. It took some time for it to come in, and that enough time for the batsman to come back. But I'm never going to discount another last over finish, Andrew. But if it ever does go down to the wire in this game, one of the big guns from the Gladiators will have to make it count, because this is a very massive total, and to chase 200 is not going to be an easy task.
Yeah, no easy task. You're watching us, you're joining us live on AP1 HD, bringing you these beautiful pictures. Down the leg side, that's going to be a wide. Nav, you got into Kathmandu for the first time this week. You've been struck by the scenery, by the beauty, by the people.
Yeah, I haven't had much time to go around though, but the little that I have, it's amazing. And the people here, like you said, are very hospitable.
Big appeal from Tendashade, given immediately. Captured right in front, Bandari trying to play across the line. And Tendashade, job for his captain.
This is an excellent over from Tendiskata so far. Dot ball and then just the odd single and one extra, but right after that, just varying his pace, and that's extremely important at this stage of the innings. That little bit of a variation in the pace, as you can see, rolling his arm over that ball there, his fingers rather, and the batsman misses that right in front of the middle stump, and so fairly easy for the umpire to raise his finger. And the Pokhara Rhinos 7 for 4.
Yeah, the new man to the crease now, RP Magar. Lamy Magar, 27 years old, not a great strike rate. His second season of EPL for him, and he's going to face up to the experience of Ryan Tendashade, who's doing a very able and adequate job for his captain here late in the Rhinos innings. Clever batting, just clipped into the longer side of the ground where there's three men deep in the fence, and he starts with a double.
And just that little shift in the momentum, for all you know, might be exactly what the Gladiators want going into the second innings. Yes, they've already conceded a lot of runs, but you never know. A good power play early on, and they could be well on their way.
Yeah, that man on your screen, Shakti Gochan, he's going to have a huge role to play with his left arm spin. You can see him warming his fingers there. His final ever domestic tournament this is going to be. Tendashade is just restricting things nicely. The thing I'm looking forward to in the second innings is that there's only going to be one way that Gladiators can go about it. They're going to have to go at it from ball one.
Yeah, a very similar approach to what Levy and Kyle did early on. If one can take the lead from the front, and maybe that could very well be Ryan himself, and someone plays around him, plays the sheet anchor role, and then take it on after that.
Clipped into that deep leg side boundary again. Tried to be anticipated by deep square leg. He gets to the ball quickly. Good throw. Takes off the bails. I think we're going to go upstairs to the third umpire. That's going to be close.
That was a very good flat throw in from the boundary line. Straight above the stumps, and a lot easier for the wicketkeeper to dislodge the bails. Let's see what
headlights flashing about very short. Brilliant anticipation from the fielder in the deep. He knew that Palami was trying to come back for two. Better anticipation, and it is out. He's gone. The Rhinos fall now to 189 for 5. Yeah, so that is the 5th wicket to fall. It's in fact 190 for 5 because of course they ran one, so they will get that one run. But wonderful work from the wicketkeeper, Pradip Bahari. We do that so successfully for India, and if he flicked that, if he tried to carry that back to the stumps, he would have been home.
Yeah, probably it was just that little bit of a that in his favor. And the new batsman, Sarmal, second season in the Everest Premier League. But it's going to be Paul Coughlin who they're going to rely on. And he's been quiet thus far.
Yeah, he's facing up just to his ball. And he can only get that one away for one. A big, powerful striker, but probably a little frustrated he hasn't had more of the strike towards the tail end of this innings.
And that's only because the bowling has been a lot more disciplined in the final 6 overs, and that's exactly what they got wrong early on. Short deliveries, outside off, giving room to the batsmen, a lot of extras, and that resulted in a huge amount of runs being scored very quickly in the first 6 overs. But they've corrected all of it.
Yeah, Bhara's finished well. Look at that, right in the block hole again. So unlucky. An inside edge, the Chinese cut, and it's going with no man in the circle at fine leg.
Unfortunately, the Yorkers that you bowl are sometimes a double. You can very well get it in your favor. Here you go. He did everything right, and on most occasions that would have shattered the stumps.
It was the near swinging Yorker, but Canal got his bat down on it just in time, and the Rhinos aren't going to mind how they come, but they're just going to be keen that this record-setting EPL total gets well over 200. Down the track, hit towards long off. Just going to be one this time.
Yeah, but very impressive death bowling by Avinash Bora. Like you said, very Malinga-esque kind of action, and he's getting that same sort of consistency in his Yorkers as well. And as a result of that, Coughlin is not able to do much with these Yorkers. 191 now into the 19th over.
Into the block hole again, brilliant bowling. Not a lot Coughlin can do with that. Nearly swings himself off his feet, but just gets an inside edge away for one. Bhara's figures might not look the most impressive, but his last 2 overs have been incredibly so.
And the figures won't suggest that. Excellent. Another Yorker just outside the off stump. There's not much you can do as a batsman when the bowler is consistently bowling it in the York hole, in the block hole.
Yeah, Bhara living up to his reputation here as the Nepalese Malinga. Certainly won't be forgetting Bhara's spell today. Hugely impressive. Finds the block hole again. Straight to the man at point. Direct hit will be close. No direct hit and more overthrows. It's almost like we've forgotten to learn how to back up this week. That's going to be the end of the 19th over. Pokhara Rhinos now 199 for 5. There's the Rhinos card. What an innings it was from Richard Levy. 79 off 37 balls, 7 sixes, 7 fours. And the big crowd here looks to me like close to 5,000 people now in this afternoon. loved those 7-6s. Kyle Coates are equally impressive with his 47 off 37. The local star of the show, Sunil Damala, 38 off 22. But the Gladiators have just started to pull it back, primarily Ryan Tendashade with the ball and Avanat Bhaira. We do have, on the second day of the TVS Everest Premier League, we've got records dropping everywhere. And we're about to have possibly the first total ever to 200. There it is. History made in Kathmandu. We've had 3 seasons of the EPL. We've never had a total over 200, but we have it today.
And I guess this is for the crowd, right? They've been coming in big numbers for over 3 years. And they would have loved to see some big totals being scored. I need to take 2 one-handed catches to pay my semester favor. A bit of humor in the crowd as well. We saw one of them get hold of it. So 50,000 rupees up for grabs if you get hold of a single-handed catch.
Yeah, the expert catch. Hit down the ground this time. Powerfully, might have dissected the 2 fielders. A diving effort and a good stop. They'll easily trot back for 2. Coughlin will retain the strike. This is a record total. In 3 years of the Everest Premier League, we've never had a total of over 200. Help of Richard Levy and Kyle Coates we've got there today.
Good shot straight back past the... An excellent fielding.
Powered down the ground this time. Soars into the sky. We've had a lot of 6s hit down this way. Another one.
Fantastic shot from Paul Coughlin. And he's finally getting a move on in the final over. And the man on the receiving end, Ryan Tendashade. Excellent shot over. You can see the replay once again.
It was an attempted slower ball from Ryan Tendashade. He tried to roll his fingers over the top of it for an off-cutter, but got up and heaved it down the ground. Clipped off his legs this time. Where's that one gone? Down behind square. They're surely going to turn and come back for 2. It's the long side of the ground, and Coughlin is starting to motor.
This is a formidable total from the Rhinos, and this is going to get some serious hitting if they want to make a match of this, the Gladiators.
Tendashade tries to cramp Coughlin up. It works this time onto the pads. Just 1 ball to go now in the innings. 211 for 5, the score. Such a beautiful setting here. Beautiful Kathmandu. Slight change in the field. Deep fine leg going back. Extra cover coming up. Be interesting to see if Coughlin tries to target with no man in the deep except long off on the offside.
Tendashade is bowling it into the right-hander.
Full straight, hammered into the leg side. That's gone wide of the man at fine leg. It's going to finish the innings with a boundary 4. It's been raining boundaries, and the Pokhara Rhinos end with a record TVS Everest Premier League total of 15 for 5.
A fantastic afternoon we've had here in Kathmandu, courtesy Richard Levy, Kyle Coates, and a late flourish by Paul Coughlin. The foreign sign-ups for the Pokhara Rhinos have come to the party here. And the crowd that we've had here today, we were expecting a much smaller crowd, and they've turned up in big numbers this Sunday, and they've been thoroughly entertained by some of the foreigners who've come here to Kathmandu.
Yeah, we really have been blessed with wonderful cricket, amazing crowds. Here's the final ball of the innings. We saw Ryan Tendashade put his fine leg out, but he dissected the 2 men in the deep. Coughlin went in between deep square leg and that man. There was nothing he could do. Coughlin adds the late flourish to the innings. See the crowds that turned up in huge numbers. We had 12,500 through the gate yesterday. I'd say conservatively probably pushing up towards half of that now, about at least 5,000 in the ground. And with the weather we have, Nav, it's the perfect weather for cricket.
Absolutely. And there have been A whole bunch of sixes and fours hit in this first innings, led by the South African himself. We quickly take a look at the highlights of the first innings.
Yeah, it was just devastating for Richard Levy, wasn't it? It was almost like Kyle Coates wasn't out there with him. It was the Richard Levy show.
Absolutely. It was super fun commentating when someone's going all guns blazing there, and he didn't spare anyone. In the first 5 overs, we had 5 different bowlers bowling. How about that for a straight 6?
That for me was the shot of the day. He held his shape. We were sitting out to the right of our commentary position. I thought it was coming right on top of my head. Outstanding striker of the ball, Richard Levy. He's held world records in the past, and he's bringing the world to Kathmandu. Look at the celebrations in the crowd.
The only one who has taken a single-handed catch in the crowd, and he gets himself 50,000 rupees. And he'll be very thankful to Richard Levy. And there you go, a lot of small, short deliveries as well, and that didn't help. The bowlers weren't necessarily very consistent with their line and lengths.
And then you could see that Kyle Coates started to get in on the act as well. That was 50 for Levy. Kyle started to motor. And it has to be said, towards the end of Levy's innings, that was the last clean 6, sailed straight out of the ground. He really took a liking to the left arm spin. But towards the end of his innings, looked to me like he started to get tired. A few little inside edges, there was a 4 byes. And then the top edge and the relief for the Gladiators when that was held in the deep.
Yeah, that must have been a huge sigh of relief. But then that didn't stop the flow of runs. Kyle Coates took on the initiative, and he, along with Sunil Damala, put on an excellent partnership in the middle overs. And Kyle hit some lusty blows as well. He hit 2 in 2, and so did Damala. It was raining sixes all along the first innings. Yeah, and fist pumping each other, and that eventually led to the demise of Damala's wicket. And another fantastic piece of wicket keeping there. They managed to pull things back, get a little bit of the momentum towards the very end.
And that was the full highlights package there. So many wonderful 4s and 6s that it felt like it was almost the entire match we were watching back. Richard Levy, the star of the show, 79 off 37. Kyle Coates, 47 off 37. The Pokhara Rhinos captain. Incredibly impressive. I have to remind you again, this is a record-breaking score in the 3rd season, the 2018 TVS Everest Premier League, the highest total we've ever on this ground. 215 for 5. We're going to take a quick look at the 5 wickets that fell. This was the first one, the top edge from Levy, and who else would you want but Ryan Tendashade under it. The brilliant run out. Just take a look at the bowling figures as well. Some pretty grim reading there for the bowlers. Krishna Karki, 4 overs, 1 for 51. Mehra, the overseas player, 1 for 36. Bhairahawa, very impressive. His figures don't do him justice as to how well he bowled, Nav. Tendashade, a little bit expensive at the end. And Basakar, the captain, just 1 over. So that's the end of the first innings. The Gladiators bowlers, or the Gladiators batters are going to have to chase that total of 215. And they're going to need 216 to win. And we'll join you in about 5 minutes